everyone, welcome back to River's End. The colony is feeling much more permanent now with all the buildings being up to level 2. We're going to continue to push for the permanency of the colony by pushing our new industrial district, get it started with our 2 new builds of the smeltery, and I'm going to start a new mine. Because it feels like the mine would work much better with the industrial district than over with the agricultural district. The agricultural district is going to continue to push its way through the valley and around the base of this mountain. The mountain itself will eventually have a staircase and walkway that goes all the way up it to where we're going to place our mystical site. But as stated, we're going to start with the industrial district first. The industrial district is going to be on this far... the industrial district is going to start on the north side of the colony, on the end of the river, where it will begin to wrap itself around the edges of said river. Now, I also mentioned that I want to place down a second mine. The second mine is not only going to be the second mine, it's going to be our permanent mine. Our first mine is going to essentially become abandoned. The mine itself, while there is nothing wrong with the mine, just my personal preference is the mine does not make sense where we're going to have all our agricultural stuff. So we're placing down our new mine over here in the industrial district. Let's find a good spot for it. Honestly, I think here is a great spot for our new mine. We'll place another guard tower nearby, so it has a guard to patrol the mine to keep our miners safe. But also, there's a little tiny camp that we found here during a stream that I think will work very well as this is kind of where the miner lives, even though we will be placing down some more residences over here for the miner and all the other builders for the industrial district. So let's place down our mine. We're going to place down the mine that we were originally going to use for the series. Yeah, we were going to do the alt mine originally. But we ended up changing our minds and switching to the other original mine. But I think now that we're actually going somewhere different, I think this will be a good spot for it and for us to actually have the a different mine. Feels like it sits better here compared to the original mine that we were going to place down. Again, it is unfortunate how far our builders are going to come to build. I will have another builder's hut built over here eventually, but for now, we'll stick with the 3 builders we have. And speaking of, let's see if we can get... I believe it's metallurgy, smeltery. Alright, so we have one option for the smeltery for the medieval oak. Okay. Honestly, it looks really good. I'm mainly checking to see if there's any sort of water element. Some builds are better if they're placed down by the water, so I just want to make sure we're not about to place this somewhere it shouldn't be. And for the smeltery, we'll have Houston build the smeltery. Alright, now that we have this smeltery done and up to level 2, we can come in here, hire on our worker, and it looks like Andre is probably going to be our best bet for a smelter. With the smeltery, our smelter Andre can use any fuel that we give him to smelt down ore blocks into their actual components. So like ore, if the coal ore goes into the coal, iron into iron, raw iron, lapis ore into lapis, stuff like that. So they will essentially give us the raw materials from the different ores that our miner digs up. And speaking of the miner has also been built, upgraded, and already started over here, all the way up to level 2. So our miner is very hard at work. Don't know where they are heading, but they do have a guard here. And that guard, of course, came from this guard tower that we placed. And that guard will protect our miner as best as he can. And for the agricultural district, we're going to start placing down some more blocks that we're going to just need in general. Like we need the composter's hut. The composter's hut will be very useful, so we can give our farmers everything they need to essentially grow everything at a much quicker pace. There's going to be quite the amount that we're going to have to clear out, but I will help with all of that. But yes, I think that's a great spot for our composter's hut. Next would be the chicken farmer, the chicken herder. What do we got for this? Okay, let's pull this up. So we have this for option 1, which is level 5. Not bad. Let's take a look at the alternate, up to level 5. Okay, alternate's a bit smaller, which honestly works well for us. I think the chicken hut will be good here. Essentially, I'm going to be wrapping all these other huts along the side of this mountain, so I think this works really well if we put the chicken hut here. Alright, so next we have the swine herder's hut. And the alternate. You know, I'm kind of digging the alternate. Because with the alternate, we could move it over here. Bring it down. I don't know, I feel like it kind of fits. We'll have like a random tunnel that we'll have to clear. Let me look at the regular one again. Level 5. You know what? To keep on brand with what we're doing, I think we'll need to do the regular. We'll bring it here. Drop it down one. Yeah, I think this works best for our needs. Let's see. Now we have the shepherd's hut. Will that fit here? A lot of these holes are going to be covered up, so I think having a shepherd's hut over here is going to work just fine. Bring it down. One. Yeah, I think that works. Place it here. Originally, this was where our enchanter's tower was going to go. I think the apiary would fit better here. So husbandry, apiary. Zoom our way out here. Yeah, I think having the apiary here is a much better call than having our enchanter's hut here. So we'll place that and get that going as well. We also got the apiary built and up to level 2. So we'll need to hire on a worker here. I think Aliza will be our beekeeper. We'll need to get the tool for that. Have them set to collect honey. And of course to breed. And we'll do poppies as the way to breed up our bees, because we have plenty of them. But we need the selection tool because we need to assign our hives for our beekeeper, and they will, once we get some bees over here, they will take care of the bees, collect the honey and everything else that they need for the bees. Of course, we got the chicken hut up to level 2. Let's see, look at the settings, breeding on, yep. So they'll produce feathers, eggs, and of course the raw chicken. All useful items. Let's get Orlando or Sella. Let's do Sella for the chickens. Get over here, Sella. I'm probably butchering that name, but it is what it is. You take care of all our chickens now. The swine herder. Settings, we want the breeding on, of course. This will only give us pork and maybe some of the raw sinew, which I don't know if we need, but we'll at least get the pork, which means Orlando is going to be our swine herder, taking care of our pigs. We also have a few more homes built and moved our 2 farms here back towards our now abandoned mine. So we now have more space here for our colonists to move around to our new buildings. Speaking of, one of them is our compost hut over here. Also up to level 2. Oh, a little too far. Let's see. We'll work with the settings first. We don't want them to produce dirt, not yet. We do, however, want them to use wheat seeds, nightshades, and the old roots to make compost. And they will generate us compost over time, which we will also need for future researches. And we will assign... I think Mary will be our best bet. Let's get Mary over here. Alright, Mary, you're set up and you should be making us compost. And last but not least, we also have our shepherd's hut up and going, level 2. Even got ourselves some sheep in here. That leaves our last worker, Kelly, as our shepherd herder. Breeding on. Dying, we will turn off. Shearing, we will keep on. So she will take care of everything. Let's actually give her our shears that we have so she can shear everything. But yeah, no, the agricultural district is really coming along. It looks really good. I can't wait to expand it even further. I know there's not too many other buildings that I can do for the agricultural stuff. Like, I know I can unlock the plantations, and those will continue around the side of the mountain. That'll be at a later time, but I'm very excited to expand out our agricultural area. Really automate the food process for us. I'm also very excited that we have the industrial district started now. It's just the smeltery for now, but eventually I'll be able to unlock a blacksmith, toolsmith, masonry, all that stuff, and that'll all be over here. It'll wrap around our little river end here. It's going to look amazing by the time it's done. I'm very excited to see the colony to continue to expand. It's going to look really good. Over here at the university, we can actually see some of the research that we can start to unlock now that we have some of these buildings built. The chicken hut and the shepherd hut will produce the feathers and wools we need for the soft shoes research. Woodwork we'll have to get eventually, but we can get... Yeah, we got the vein miner, so we just gotta get 32 iron ore. The miner's working on that. But with the composter down, that unlocks so many other things here that we can add to the agricultural area. Like this one gives us access to the plantations. We can unlock the ability for our crops just to grow outwards on their own. The composter can now produce podzol. Like so many other things once we get all these buildings up to level 3. Which may be what we start doing next episode. We'll start upgrading things to level 3. On top of also placing some of these buildings that we already have unlocked, including the blacksmith's hut. And try to get some of these others unlocked so we can get those started and get those placed down. But there's just a lot of research that is locked behind buildings being level 3. So I think next episode will be heavily focused on getting our buildings up to level 3 and placing down more buildings for the industrial district. The colony has come such a long way. Like, it has grown to be so massive. It's completely nuts how big the colony has gotten, and it's just going to continue to expand. I'm super excited to watch it grow and get everything leveled up. It's going to be just absolutely amazing. I can't wait to share this experience with the rest of you. But that'll do it for this episode. The agricultural district has been officially established along with the industrial district. Both will continue to expand as we unlock more buildings and as we continue to upgrade everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed everything, feel free to leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode.